Grace, thank you for reading. Again, I'm an addict named Adam. And then I do want to apologize for last week. Was it Kevin, me and you? I was a jerk. Well, I'm young, too. And you're right. You know, addicts can say things that can kill other addicts. We can also say things that can save us, too. And so I try to trust the process. So, thank you for letting me share that. Tonight, you gotta listen to me. Here's why. So, I asked 5 chicks to come in and share this past week. Because I feel like a lot of times in Narcotics Anonymous, it's mostly dudes. And it is. There's more men than more women. I know the statistics. And by no means do I know everything. I don't. But it's like, I get to do this research. I get to be this, like, doctor. Crazy. And so there's always more dudes. You know, and I feel like a lot of times bringing dudes, I think for the last 4 or 5 weeks when I've come in, it's been a dude. It's been a dude. You know, and that can be tough for girls to identify. But man, the girls, they left me hanging this week. Like I asked 5 of them and followed up hardcore. And so now you're left with me. And I am an addict and my name's Adam. I was born and raised in Baltimore. All right, actually I'm from Baltimore City. So I'm an Oriole Raven guy. And I mean, we had rats, big ass rats. Like I test positive for tuberculosis. Not because I got TB, but because, you know, where I was born, I got a vaccine. You know what I mean? My mom did the best she could. You know, like, I don't know if y'all experienced trauma growing up, but like, you know, my mom used to get her ass kicked. And, you know, I can remember one boyfriend, he like kidnapped me. You know, she tried to leave him and then he stalked her. And I say these things not to be different, right? I'm just telling you my story. You know, like, look, I'm married today to a woman that, like, when I was 12 years old, I was running to the damn refrigerator and sipping pink methadone out of the fridge. My wife was 12 years old going to see Beauty and the Beast on ice. Yeah. You know? Like, I don't know why that is. My wife wasn't allowed to watch Friends growing up. And my first few sexual occurrences were with my mother's friends, you know? So I thought I was an adult. I thought that I was an adult. I got a job at 12. I started using young. My first Zima at 5. I do talk about the drugs, all right? Our group pamphlet, you know, it's an IP we have. It says, you know, we don't dwell obsessively on drugs, right? But, I mean, I talk about them. And I want an old timer to fucking talk about drugs, please. You know, 20 years, remind me what it's like. Because at the end of the day, man, it's definitely still about drugs for me. It really is. But I remember having my first Zima at like 5. Man, I was spinning. You know, I can remember that first time drinking. And what I really loved about drugs was the conviviality, or what I thought. Like, hey, we're going to have a party. We're going to get fucked up. Like, before I even got high. Like, that's what, like, you know, man, we're going to do this. You know, I was sharing with Ricky today. Ricky is a sponsee of mine. What a gift. He sponsees me. By the way, that's another way that I look at it, too. Like, okay, yeah, you sponsor. That's bullcrap. I ain't got nothing if he don't ask me. If he doesn't call me, if he doesn't work steps or try to... I don't have a sponsee. So it's he sponsees me, you know. But we were talking today, and it was like, man, like... I mean, did I like getting fucked up? I don't know. Like, what did I really want? I wanted some answers. I had a spiritual void, I swear. Like, there was something deep down inside that, you know, and using, getting high and then connecting with other people, like, I thought we were going to do something. Like, and I don't know what it was we were going to do, but I thought there was this, I found safety in getting fucked up with others and identifying. And, you know, usually... I always throw this out there, but, you know, Cheetos and Boobies. And sorry, too, I don't mean to be, but I can remember being 4 and 5 years old and getting a bag of Cheetos. And then Miss Sue, you know, who was living with my mom, I mean, there was tons of chicks. I mean, so many chicks that I sit down to pee. That's how many chicks, it was like a cat house where I was raised, right? But I can remember, like, looking up. and seeing her boobs. And like, man, I was just so obsessed on that. Bags of Cheetos and boobs from a young age. But then when she rolled out or she saw me and put the towel on, I had a feeling of coming down. You know, same with those Cheetos. Bam, I'd eat them, and then like I'd have the dust on my fingers, and then I wanted more. I needed more. And so that same thing happened with drugs, you know. But it's not like I really ever loved using. I swear to you. I mean, take a pill, but then I'm like, great, I got to come down. You know, so it was already like I kind of like ruined it. At least I thought so. So I hated that. I hated losing my wits about myself. But I still wanted to feel content and comfortable and connected with the world. And I don't think I'm alone with that. But during those times, especially growing up, you know, as a teenager, man, I was a mess. I was jacked up. Like as soon as I found out that I just couldn't have the first chick I fell in love with, I was done. I was done. Like it wasn't until I got to Narcotics Anonymous and I did the 4th and 5th step that it was like, I'm not supposed to have every woman that I want. Like I really did. At some point in my brain as a young boy, I thought that, when I get older, I'll just number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Like I don't know why. There was this immaturity about me, So as soon as I started, I wouldn't say failing, but not getting my way. As soon as things didn't go my way, I quit it. I couldn't do it. That international fuck it, I'm done with it. And then I started blaming things. I blamed the system. Well, the system. I mean, obviously, it's a bunch of old white people that run the world, right? Like, real quick. Mm-hmm. And now today, as a doctor, it is. But don't get it. I can go to any store, and it has angel-winged, right? The angel's wings, toilet paper. So my life's not that bad with them old white dudes running. Like, and I didn't create myself either. Like, that's another thing, but I blamed everything and everyone, and especially this God concept. My mom, that was one thing, right? I told you she was always searching for something, getting beat up and going through what she went through, using with me and using with my sister, and we just fucking used. But I can remember we would go to churches, right? And I was already put off at a young age because it was like, why are there different churches? Like, I didn't get it. It was different messages. Well, there's a bunch of black people in this church. In this church, they're white people. They're doing shit with their tongues. Oh, now they're coming to our house. Right? Like, I couldn't... It was too... I'm so self-centered that I had a hard time as a young boy accepting that there's billions of people on the planet. And that everybody connects with God. Everybody's allowed to have that. I couldn't, for some reason, that was way too above me. It was too hard for me. And so I used. Because I guess I felt alone. I felt alone. I didn't really have a true connection. And I can remember being like 16, 17. My mom did get her shit together for a little bit. I mean, I guess, right? In retrospect. And I can remember coming home, from school because I'd have to take a pain pill. Like, we shared. I'd go right up, boom, pain pill. And then that's when I was like, damn, I'm addicted. I'm fucking addicted. And so, I graduated high school and I was on a methadone program. And with my family, like, that was, hey, good job. Like, I don't know, that's what even though my sister, right, I mean, she was court ordered to go to NAAA meetings all the time. So it's like, I knew about AA and NA. I knew, but I didn't know that addiction was a disease, right? I didn't know that, like, it only gets worse. It never gets better, even in recovery. I didn't know that, and so I'm graduating high school. I'm on a methadone program. I'm smoking crack, and I'm a gospel disc jockey at a radio station in Baltimore City. Yeah, 860 WBGR, Washington, Baltimore's first all-black gospel radio station, and Shades of Grey, aka Triple Play, aka Big Bang. Right? Like, I wore masks. And, but I am dying. I'm dying. My family is dying. And, a couple DWIs. Then I'm living here, living there, missing probation. I'm not a prison guy. Got it? Now, Sunday nights, we can play calls for your chicken. You know, I can do jail, okay. But prison, no. Right? And so it was like, man, it was gonna be a year. I was gonna go away. And I lied to the judge. I was like, look, I'm gonna go into the military. And I did. Went into the military. I thought that would be it for me. I thought that would be, you know, the cure-all. And I took myself with myself. So I go into the military. Still had shit in my system. Still completely fucked up. And they knew. I feel like they knew. Anybody in here been in the military? All right, like they knew. They had to have known. I mean, you know, I peed dirty. And I was all right in the military. I conformed okay. Like I was doing good. Shit was all right. But everything I just shared with you about my past, like that didn't go away. That stuff didn't go, that stuff is there. And I didn't get that. Like I just thought, well, you know, I'm going to do this now. My life's going to be okay. All that using, all that trauma, right? All that shit that I went through is just going to go away and I'm going to be okay. And I wasn't. And so I got stationed here in Newport News. And, you know, before I knew it, I was high-stepping at home. Every 3 weeks, you know, getting biscuits, whatever I could, right? You know, just getting completely fucked up and dying. And so I got into SARP, right? Substance Abuse Rehab Program through the Navy. Saving grace, I'm grateful for that. I didn't stay clean, though, when I got in. But SARP was pretty cool. I mean, you know, I got to come out and about this whole Tidewater area. You know, it was 28 days. Got to go to a meeting every night. And I saw a lot of the cats, right? Chris P. Right? Chris P was around. Shit, I can remember being on shit and Chris P saying I'm not clean. And I was butthurt as fuck and didn't come back. You're not clean. And I'm like, fuck. And left for like 2 years. So I wasn't clean. I mean, you know, and I wouldn't say I have my own opinions about that, but the basic text doesn't say written by clean addicts for clean addicts. It doesn't say that. I digress. So yeah, so I'm going to meetings, and the first time I heard who's an addict, right, 23, 24 years old, I'm like, that's me. I'm an addict. Like, I fucking knew. I knew I was an addict. But alcohol's a drug, and I heard what it said. I just didn't, like, some of us have different paths, you know? Most of us die. Yeah, I don't know why. I got to fuck around for like 10 years here in the Tidewater area, coming in and out, doing the 1, 2, 3 step dance. I don't know why. And then there's other people that don't even make it to the rooms, right? Like, you know, my mom, stepfather, my sister, I have Heather, Scotty. I mean, like, you know, how many of y'all have a handful of cats that have died that you love? I mean, like, shit. It's crazy. And and it sucks that I have to say this, but I'll use. I will fucking use. So, like, what do? I gotta keep doing the same thing every day, or I'm gonna use. Because if I just don't use and don't have recovery, I want to kill myself. There's something about life that's just not. I go all the way back to that little boy again. The Cheetos aren't enough. The Boobies aren't enough. The gospel radio station is not enough. All that stuff's not enough. I need something else. And it's other recovering addicts. Fucking great. You know? Wonderful. Like, seriously, like, the last thing I want to do is go to a meeting every fucking night. That's the last thing I want to do. I swear to God. The last thing I want to do. And in the beginning, though, I mean, I guess, you know, once, like, I started seeing some shit, I was like, all right, and I'm gung-ho, and I'm doing it. 2 years in. But then success starts coming my way. Like, you know, I got to have 2 children, 2 boys, clean and recovery, right? Like, that's my story. But, fuck, I'll burn it down. I'm telling y'all right now, I'll burn it down. The gambling, I'll fucking burn it down. I don't know why. Because something is just not good enough. You know, and I love my wife. We've been together for 15 years. Like, y'all will shit if I told you my wife. Deputy prosecutor. And we were together before she went to law school. Maybe she's sicker than me. Right? But like, that can be, I love my wife. And learning how to love another person, right? That's what recovery's about. Because like, damn, that's like a maintenance program to me, waking up to the same, like, fuck. You know? So I saw all these cats recovering, and I didn't stay clean. I didn't get clean till August 2nd, 2018. I think it was August 2nd. I know it was July 31st. It was July 31st, that area, and so we made it August 2nd. At that point, I'd already done everything. So there's this 10 years there, right? 25 to 35 years old that I'm coming in and out. Morning meditation, doing it all, but got on a Suboxone program, which I don't care. Like, look, if you take it as prescribed, you're fine. See, Tradition 6, right? But for me, spiritually, I want to know about the other program. I need to know that Bill and Bob, they couldn't even work. They didn't work. Like, that's what I needed to know. That them cats couldn't work. Their wives had to work. All they did was recover all day long to make it. Like, I needed to know that shit, you know? Or like some NA folks would be like, you know, AA, this AA. I'm like, well, Jimmy Kinnon, they got clean in AA. They got clean in AA, you know? So by no means am I trying to like promote AA. I'm just saying, you know, I usually like to do all drugs. And that's how I kind of am with my recovery. But I say that because Dr. Bob was on sedatives until he died. So, you know, anybody that tries to say, hey, you know, prescription this, prescription that, you know, I can be real quick to be like, you know, that cheeseburger, you know, or how you eating, right? There's so many different ways that that we can look at this disease, you know? So I never, but taking it as prescribed was important. And I couldn't do it. Those 10 years coming in and out, I couldn't take it as prescribed. I just wasn't ready. And I did have one telephone number. I got this cat's number, you know, and would do steps 1, 2, and 3, and come in and out. And slowly I was tapering down, not just off Suboxone, but drugs in general. Well, I did go through that real, you know, that real strong beer phase. You know how beer's all fucking strong nowadays. But you want to know what brought me to my knees? Y'all ready for this? That fucking weed. I'm so serious. It's not the same, man. I'm so serious. When I grew up, there was dirt weed, mid-grade, and I guess this kind bud that usually put you on your ass. The shit does not do that. Okay? The shit nowadays, it's called Obama. It's the first black president. Some banging ass weed. You know? Blue. It's fruity. Let me tell you. I mean, that's what brought me to my knees. What was it? Well, it was because I needed to have a blunt in my hand at all times. My wife, the prosecutor. The respect that I had, right? Here I am, right? Non-stop. Because it's like, if I wake up in the morning, I'm smoking a blunt first thing. And I have to have a blunt in my hand at all fucking times. Or, I don't know. That's how my disease went. Middle of the night, waking up. Just like AA Big Book, hiding half of blunts in places. You know? And like, I mean, dying over fucking blunts. And then I look at it, was it the weed? Yeah, it was the weed, but it was the power. Like, I thought I had power over something. Because I could go to the store, buy the blunt, roll it, it's mine. Like, I don't know, I become so self-absorbed on what I got. And I'm dying. And I don't know why my wife stayed with me. You know, I don't know. I just don't know. I can't smoke weed. I can't fucking do it. I will end up in an institution. Because that's what happened last time. I tried to quit, and then boom. You know, and look, getting to be this doctor bullshit, like, that shit is strong. And they've done some studies, man. And I mean, especially dudes 15 to 35 years old. It can cause psychosis. It is not the same marijuana. You know? And same with the acid, too. Like, I took some gel tabs, but I didn't take the shit that my parents took. They took some real fucking shit. You know? And look, I'm okay to talk about the drugs. If this triggers you, I mean, shit. As soon as I wake up, I'm triggered. As soon as I fucking wake up. I have to get on my knees and pray. Why? Well, because fucking Chris P does it. And he's done it for 30-some years. Like, I have to find a meeting. Gotta go to a fucking meeting. Because if I don't do that, I'm triggered. I wake up, I'm like, white, crack, coke, meth, right? Cup, anything, everything to me is drugs, because that's the only thing I knew how to do was use. That's it. That's all I knew how to do is use. Use. So I don't know. At some point, I started coming back to meetings, still getting fucked up. And I was pissed off at the old timer. I had a lot of resentments because it was like, I can remember getting out of the institution, Virginia Beach Psych, and I swear to y'all, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do 90 and 90. And day 11, for some reason, I couldn't make it, and my ass cried. And I still picked up and used. Right? Because it was like, deep down, I really want to get clean. Like, I want to fucking live. I want to live a life. I want to be something, you know? The last time coming in, it was May. I wasn't in an institution. I wasn't arrested. But I don't know. I think I saw that AA special. I'm telling y'all. Some of them NA cats be all like, ah. But I saw this AA special. I saw this special on television, man. And like, I was like, damn, that's all they did was recover. And what they went through, you know? I found out this, right? I used to say the word Eskimo, but that's a racial slur. I didn't know that, right? Eskimo, yeah. Eskimo's a racial slur. It's the Inuit, right? It's the Inuits. Very good, thank you. Someone taught me that shit. And so way up north. So the Inuits, right? Well, first off, they don't like white dudes, people, right? And they fucking get fucked up, and they'll fucking kill their wife up there. I mean, it's different. The laws are different, okay? And two Inuits, man, they traveled like 600 miles down to Anchorage, Alaska. You know, this is like 1950s. Walked into some AA meeting, right? And then they waited at the airport to go back up. Some guy brought a manuscript to him of AA, and then it took them 8 years to translate that shit. I ain't never done anything that hard in my life. Like, that's what they did to get the message. And I get to wake up, you know. I get to go online. I get all the daily meds. I can find the steps from that program, from this program, you know, all the speaker tapes. Like, so recovery has changed a little bit, you know. And I say that shit just because it's like when I watched that AA special and to see what work they were putting in, it's like, damn, you know. And I wanted to throw the towel in and be like, there's got to be something else. There's got to be. But I tried all the medications. I tried everything. I did the geographical change. I got married. I tried everything. I really did. I tried it all. And then, what's the phrase? The last house on the left. There it is. There it is. Fucking NAAA. All right. I guess I'll try it again. You know, and for my motives, I don't care. At least for me. And I hope you get this. But for motives, it don't matter what your motive is. You know why I'm here, because I hate running out of Cheetos. I can't function when I don't have Cheetos and Boobies or drugs. So I have pain. That's why I come here. You know, I used to say stuff like this, I swear. Well, I'm here for me. I'm doing it for me this time. I mean, yeah, I guess so. But then I worked the fucking steps and realized I didn't even know who I was. And realized that in reality, I'm just human. And I don't want to lose this opportunity to live. This opportunity to be like, I don't want to lose it. Has anyone in here overdosed? Yes. Like, damn. I mean, you know, and it's so hard. If we were to take these steps, right, and take them down to some cancer unit where kids have a progressive chronic terminal disease, we would be like, hey, what's up, little kids? Right, and they're looking at us and they're dying. We would be like, listen, here's what you got to do. You got to just find a sponsor. Call them or whatever. Get on your knees and pray, right? And do it. They'd be like, yes. They would be like, most people would be like, hell yeah. But we got that disease, man. Like, I'm so serious. If you haven't accepted that it's a disease, please. We have a disease. Like, they pay for us to come up in here and get treated. Like, you know, we got a cunning, baffling disease that, like I said, I got to keep telling myself, fuck, I won't use for the rest of the night. But, I want to say, I know I'm not going to use for a week. But if I say that shit, you know what fucking happens. And so it's like, I gotta do what they tell me to do. And like, that was the last thing I wanted to do. It was the last thing I wanted to do, but then I just did it. I came in May, I quit drinking first, and was just pissed off at the old timer. Why do they get it? Okay, whatever, I'll show up high. And I did. I showed up high. And then before I know it, I guess I listened so much that I became an addict. I became like a really bad addict or a really bad alcoholic, whatever. So it's like, if you keep coming back, then you'll really become that, I did what they told me to do. I did the all right, 90 and 90, whatever, but it was a meeting a day. I did. And like, I still couldn't grasp that concept, right? I know we've talked about this. How do I put that around my life? I have to work. I have things I got to do. What? I can't do this meeting a day. But yet, you already know that if I was using when my first child was there, I would have turned to my wife and been like, oh, you know him, honey. You know him, that's Uncle whatever. He's coming in to give me my shit. Like, I would have found everything, right? I would do everything. Oh, I got to go to work? Let me wake up at 2 a.m. and make sure I get what I need. And then it's like, bam, vice versa with recovery. And that shit's hard. Who wants to really do that? Especially when the rewards aren't Cheetos and Boobies. I get it quick. Recovery is slow as fuck. Withdrawal, physical. Then, check this out. I'm getting older. I'm getting fucking older. So like, I always think I'm in withdrawal. I'm not. I'm getting fucking old. Like, the earth is spinning 1,000 miles per hour, and like, that's hard on our bodies. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, you're waking up feeling like, man, I'm fucking sick. I don't want to do shit. You're like, the last thing I want to do is get on my knees in the morning. I swear to y'all, I have crawled on my knees in rooms that I did not even smoke crack in. I have crawled all over my knees. I have spent hours just crawling on my fucking knees, looking for shit. But then when they're like, hey, just get on your knees in the morning and say, thank you. Like, I couldn't do that. It's so fucking hard to do. Same with the end of the night. That's one thing I've been non-negotiable with. I swear to y'all, I have prayed on my knees, bam, since I started coming back. I swear to you, every day, non-negotiable. On my knees in the morning, on my knees at night. And trying to do those mantras. Y'all know the serenity prayer, third step prayer, right? Those are things that I started saying in my brain. Just doing that. Also, if you get your phone back, I do the NA basic text. So I'll be like, man, I wake up in the morning like, fuck, I feel like shit. Then I just go, chapter 1, who's an addict? Most of us do not, right? And I'm like, damn, okay. And I love that. I love it. It reads that shit to me. Like, if I owned one of these, if I was because, for my doctor, I get to, like, implement the research and do whatever. I don't even know why God is allowing shit like that. I'd be playing recovery shit nonstop, even through the night. Because I took drugs and drank at night, so when I fell asleep, I still had it in my system. And so it's like, put on some speaker tapes. I swear to you, I had to change everything. I didn't even listen to the radio. But I did. You know what I listened to? K-Love. In the beginning. I did, because like, for some reason, it was like, I'm going to honestly try it. I wanted to honestly try it and see if it would work. And then before I knew it, I'd gone to a meeting every day for 457 days, right? And then COVID hit. And it got all crazy up in here, right? Because then you had these groups, they were fighting those groups. I do Zoom. I swear to y'all, broaden your base, man. Zoom is all right. Like, even if you just, and I've said this, I have smoked bad crack on purpose. Day 3, ain't got nothing. He's going to rip me off. Okay. Still take it, right? Same with Zoom. Like, I've heard a lot of people like, I can't get nothing from it. I was like, okay, well, I used drugs that did nothing to me and killed me. But it counts with our higher power, just getting onto a Zoom, and then I keep track in my fucking calendar. Like, I always knew what I was putting in my system, right? Oh, that's a 10 milligram. I'll take that one. Like, the only Motrin I'll take is an 800 milligram. Right? I say that's fucked up because my wife had some babies, and I open up the thing, I'm like, damn, that 800 milligram, I know that, with my coffee, right? So, like, I knew is it a 22? Right? I knew what percent, and I have to do the same with my recovery, in a sense. I'm a numbers guy, and so I do that. I keep track. I feel like if I do that, if I pray in the morning, talk to another recovering addict, get to a meeting that day, and then pray at night, I'm all right. I should be okay. Well, I'm a real smart addict. I mean, I was going to meetings getting high. So it's like, that's not even enough. And then it was like, here's these steps. I worked the steps. Look, I did 1, 2, and 3 twice this time. It was convenient for me because I was in college. So, like, I don't know why God let me do that. I swear to you, I can remember praying, like, and I don't take this the wrong way, but, like, powerful leaders, like old boy Adolf Hitler, he used to have a doctor that just followed him around and I really did. I thought that's what I needed. I can remember telling my wife, I'm like, honey, I think I need a doctor. Just all the time. All the time, waking up with a damn IV in my arm. I just need, like, I could not, there was no way that I thought that I could get clean and stay in recovery. Impossible. But getting up in the morning, hitting my knees, that real simple thing, maybe listening to Who's an Addict, knowing what meeting I'm going to, getting into, even if you're not going to call the sponsor, like, I know some of them old cats, Joe W., used to have to run to a damn payphone and call a sponsor. And I know some of y'all old cats that have been in the program before, they're like, go to the I've never had to go to the payphone. Never. I got it, like, so it's like, text them. Shit. At least text them. Like, just do it. This sucks. Whatever. Like, I did that. Did the steps 1, 2, and 3, and it was like, that's the bottom piece of the bread. Steps 1, 2, and 3. And I feel like even now you're already doing that. Y'all know you can't use again. We do. We know it. Does that mean we're going to apply it? I don't know. I don't know. And it's like, what do we come to believe in that can restore us? Well, it's like, if you're getting clean, right? You can work out, eat healthy, meditate, be around some other healthy people that are practicing those spiritual principles. If I went back to them same people, if I went home to Baltimore after the military, which I don't know why, I would have been dead. Like my mom, like my brother-in-law, we're pretty sure he killed my sister, and then 3 months later my mother, right? Like, we're sure, we know. Me and my wife's like, we know. And they did nothing. But because they were using. And he benefited, and it was like, I would have been dead. Or in prison, which you already know what would happen to me. Having to try to kill people so I don't get, and I would get probably. That's all right. I can handle that. But I don't want to go. I don't want to. Like, that was another reason. I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to go through that. I don't want to go through that. You know what I mean? And so it's like the people, places, and things. And I know if you feel like you got to leave here and you got to go home to your family, or if it's your girl, or if it's your boy, and right, and they're using. I don't know. I mean, they tell us people, places, and fucking things. And that's like the hardest. That's the hardest, is changing that. It is. I swear. What is it? You hang around the barbershop enough, you'll get your hair cut. All that shit. And so I did it. I did the step 4. I did the steps. And life was good. I'm going to shut it down. I've been sharing a lot. Great things. I got to work at a daycare before the babies came. Crazy. I know. Now, some real OGs will be like, damn, that's pimping. On the spiritual side, pimping. Like, I worked at a daycare before I had kids. Not because I planned it. I swear to you. I don't even know why. It's like God led me there. I was still, palms still sweating, but I got fingerprinted. I peed in a cup. I mean, I ain't like, and then a lot of the old timers in the room, right, they be there. Look, old timers will fucking sit you down. And then, but I got to pat little babies, man. I got to pat little babies while they go to sleep, and to sit there and to feel them and hear them breathing and then to reminisce over all this shit that I shared with you, amazing gifts. Bad things too, like my wife One thing I didn't know about before I came to recovery is that women have miscarriages. I didn't even know. I was totally clueless. I was so clueless about what women have to go through in general. Having a baby. They don't get sleep, right? Their body goes this way. Then there's another, they got trimester 4. I didn't even know. Then they got a nurse. Like, I had no idea. You know, my concept about life was so messed up. You know, and then I come into Narcotics Anonymous and share some shit with some people, and then it's like, oh, damn. Same with, like, I didn't know my mom and dad were abusing me by getting fucked up with me. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was abuse. Had no idea, you know? So just a lot of things changed, and while there was things that have been bad, there's been a lot of great things. You know, I got to go back to school, and you know, I get to be sponsee. You know, I got the Point of Freedom downtown, Freemason. I got to start a meeting. That was pretty cool. But, you know, now I got the kids. I got to stay closer to home. A lot of great things have happened, and I don't want to lose it. And so it's like, what do I got to do? That same fucking shit every day. And is it worth it? I swear to you it is. Even now with 6 years and some change, and there's times I don't even feel like I have a connection. Because it's like, well, great, they tell me to be open-minded. Now I got to switch it up. Now I'm listening to, like, Buddhist monks, trying to because it's the same even in recovery. I'm still trying to get that hit, but at least I know it's not going to kill me. That's the difference. Recovery is infinite. I swear to God, it's infinite. Like, we can open a book at all times. Paradigm shifts, right? Like, you know, what we went through last week. Like, I learned from that shit. When we're recovering, we fucking learn. We learn. It's when we leave that we die, you know? So, I don't know. I love y'all. That's all I got to share. And hey, check it. Ricky has some things here. He's only got a couple of them. So I think, you're leaving soon? You and Debbie are leaving soon, right? I don't know. Maybe he'll have to hand them out, or you can do like thumb tag or whatever. But we'll open up the floor and let y'all share. I love you. Thanks for letting me share.
Thanks for sharing.
Kevin.
Hey, I'm Kevin.